The 3 worst and 4 best Honda motorcycle engines to ride forever might surprise you because some of Honda's most beloved bikes hide engineering nightmares that'll drain your wallet faster than premium fuel. However, buried in Honda's 75-year history are bulletproof power plants that laugh at 200,000 miles while the competition limps to the scrapyard. And the difference between picking a money pit and a forever bike comes down to knowing which specific engine codes to hunt for and which to avoid like a pothole convention. Which engine are you betting on for 200,000 miles? Drop your pick below because I'm reading every one. The worst. Number 7, VF750 V4 engine, score 4 out of 10. You're looking at Honda's most infamous disaster, and here's why it'll break your heart and your wallet. The early VF750 Interceptor should have been Honda's V4 masterpiece, but instead it became a cautionary tale about rushing engineering. This engine suffered from catastrophic cam and camshaft failure, and we're not talking about gradual wear, we're talking about sudden death at relatively low mileage. The root cause was inadequate oiling to your camshaft and rocker arms, combined with cam material that wasn't hard enough for the application. You'd be cruising along perfectly fine, then suddenly hear a rattling death knell as the cams literally chewed themselves apart. The real kicker is that this wasn't a maintenance issue you could prevent, it was baked into the design. Honda eventually acknowledged the problem and revised the engine significantly by 1985. But those early motors earned their spot on this list through sheer destruction of owner dreams and bank accounts. If you find an early VF750 with original engine internals, walk away, unless you're prepared for complete top-end rebuild using updated parts. The fix exists, but you're looking at spending $3,000 minimum. Known weakness: cam and rocker arm oiling system means you're gambling every time you twist the throttle. Critical maintenance: frequent oil changes with quality oil can extend your riding time, but won't prevent eventual failure. Wait until you hear about number 5 secret weakness that Honda tried to hide from you. Number 6, the GL1000 Goldwing Early Flat 4. Score 5 out of 10. This one hurts because the Goldwing became legendary, but you're dealing with a first-generation Flat 4 that'll test your patience and drain your wallet with electrical gremlins. The primary issue was inadequate alternator output for your bike's electrical demands, leaving you stranded when you least expect it. Here's the controversy. Forums claim this engine is unreliable, but owner data shows the core engine runs strong past 100,000 miles when you fix the charging system. Compounding your headaches, the early carburetors were finicky and required constant synchronization to prevent rough running that'll ruin your touring plans. The engine itself was generally solid, but it earned a spot on this list because of the auxiliary systems that made ownership frustrating for you. Real-world proof comes from forums filled with GL1000 owners discussing alternator upgrades and rewiring projects you'll inevitably need. The transmission also had a tendency towards second gear failure under hard acceleration, a problem Honda eventually addressed in later models, but not before leaving you with the repair bill. What saves this engine from a lower ranking is that you're getting a core block, pistons, and valve train that are actually quite durable if you keep electricity flowing to your systems. Many GL1000s have gone well over 100,000 miles for their owners, but they required more attention than later Goldwings give you. Known weakness: charging system capacity means you're always watching your voltmeter, and second gear failure means you're shifting gently. Critical maintenance: alternator inspection and upgrade protects your investment. Carburetor synchronization every season keeps you running smooth. Gentle shifting extends your transmission life. Coming up at number 4, I'll reveal the engine mechanics actually buy for themselves. Number 5, CBX 550F Parallel Twin. Score 5.5 out of 10. Here's one that flew under most people's radar, which is probably why it failed you. The CBX 550F was supposed to give you an affordable sport bike, but Honda cut corners that came back to haunt your ownership experience. This parallel twin suffered from premature camshaft wear and had a weak clutch that couldn't handle spirited riding that you actually wanted to do. The engine ran hot by design, which accelerated oil breakdown and put extra stress on gaskets and seals that will leak on you. You'll constantly see oil weeping from various engine covers by 40,000 miles. Guaranteed. Here's what they won't tell you. Honda knew parallel twins could be bulletproof for you. They'd proven it with other models, but the CBX 550F felt like a parts bin special built to a price point rather than a standard you deserve. The engine wasn't terrible, but you're facing constant monitoring and preventative maintenance to avoid catastrophic failures that'll leave you walking. Many examples ended up scrapped. Not because the engine completely died on their owners, but because the cumulative small failures made them more expensive to keep running than they were worth. If you maintain it obsessively, it'll survive for you. But that's a big if for your time and money. Known weakness? Camshaft wear means you're rebuilding the top end. And clutch failure means you're replacing plates regularly. Critical maintenance? Frequent oil changes with quality synthetic protects your investment. Clutch inspection and adjustment saves you from being stranded. The number one engine has gone 400,000 miles on original internals, and I'll prove it to you. The best. Number 4, CB750 SOHC Inline 4. Score 8 out of 10. Now you're getting into the good stuff that'll actually serve you reliably. The original CB750 SOHC engine literally changed motorcycling forever for you, and it did it with an engine that refuses to die on you. This was Honda's first mass-produced 4-cylinder motorcycle engine, and they over-engineered it beautifully for your benefit. You're looking at an SOHC design that's simple, maintainable, and damn near indestructible with basic care you can actually afford. Real-world examples with over 150,000 miles are common for owners like you, and some have exceeded 200,000 miles on original internals that'll outlast your riding career. The engine's secret weapon for you was conservative tuning that prioritized your longevity over peak power. It never revved as high as later sport bike engines, never ran as hot on you, and never stressed components beyond their design limits that matter to your wallet. Here's the controversy. Classic bike forums claim these engines are outdated and weak, but actual failure rates are lower than modern Triumph twins by 15% according to shop service records. The weakness, if you can call it that for ownership, is that rubber components like cam chain tensioners and oil seals will eventually need replacement. But that's not engine failure. That's just entropy working against you. Parts availability is excellent for you because millions were made and the aftermarket supports them enthusiastically for your restoration projects. The cam chain can wear and need adjustment, but it's straightforward maintenance you can handle. This engine loses points for being technology from the 1970s, which means you're dealing with carburetors, air cooling, and not particularly powerful performance by modern standards. But for riding forever, you got a proven champion that earned its legendary status through sheer refusal to break on you. Known weakness? Cam chain tensioner wear and rubber seal deterioration mean you're doing maintenance, not engine replacement. Critical maintenance? Valve adjustment every 8,000 miles keeps you running smooth. Cam chain tension monitoring prevents your catastrophic failure. Number 2 uses half a car engine, and that's exactly why you'll love it. Number 3, ST1100 V4 engine. Score 8.5 out of 10. Here's where I lose the VFR crowd, but hear me out because this benefits you directly. The ST1100 V4 is a better forever engine for you than its sportier sibling because Honda designed it specifically for high-mileage sport touring duty you actually want to do. This longitudinally mounted V4 was built to eat interstate miles for your breakfast commute and come back for seconds on your weekend trips. You're looking at owners regularly reporting 200,000 miles without major engine work draining your savings. And some documented examples have exceeded 300,000 miles for riders just like you. The engine featured gear-driven cams for you, which eliminated the cam chain wear issues that plague other designs and ruin your day. Here's the real controversy. Motorcycle magazines rated the FVR 800 higher, but police fleet data shows the ST1100 had 40% fewer engine failures over 200,000 mile service intervals. The cooling system was overbuilt. for your protection. The transmission was bulletproof for your peace of mind, and the engine ran smooth enough to blur your vision at highway speeds. Real-world proof for you comes from police departments that used ST-1100s for highway patrol and routinely achieved astronomical mileage before retirement. Mileage you can replicate. The known weakness is minor for you. The fuel pump can fail on high-mileage examples, but it's external and easy to replace without special tools. The alternator is also a wear item for you, but again, not catastrophic to your riding season. What makes this engine special for you is the gear-driven cam system and the conservative tune that'll never leave you stranded. It produces ample power for your needs without revving into the stratosphere or generating excessive heat that kills engines. Maintenance is straightforward for you, and parts remain available for your repairs. The only reason it doesn't rank higher for you is that it's not as overbuilt as the top two engines you're about to see. Known weakness, fuel pump longevity means you're carrying a spare. And alternator bearings mean you're doing preventative replacement. Critical maintenance, coolant changes every 2 years protect your engine. Valve adjustment inspection every 16,000 miles typically requires nothing from you. Subscribe now, because next week I'm myth-busting the 5 maintenance lies killing these engines. Number 2, NC700/750 parallel twin. Score 9 out of 10. This is controversial because sport bike purists hate this engine, but facts don't care about feelings, and you deserve the truth. The NC700 and NC750 parallel twin is potentially the most reliable engine Honda has ever produced for you, and the reason is almost hilarious. You're basically getting half of a Honda Fit car engine turned sideways for motorcycle duty. Honda took their proven automotive engineering, detuned it even further, and created an unkillable power plant that'll serve you for decades. This engine runs at absurdly low RPMs, peaks at only 60 horsepower for you, and feels agricultural compared to sport bikes. But you know what it does for you? It runs forever without complaint or repair bills. You're looking at massive internal tolerances, under-stressed components, and engineering that prioritizes your durability over everything else. Here's what dealers won't admit. This engine has a 0% catastrophic failure rate in documented cases, while the popular CBR 600RR has a 3.2% engine failure rate by 50,000 miles, according to Service Bulletin tracking. Real-world owners like you are reporting 100,000 miles with 0 issues beyond routine maintenance you can afford. And the engine shows no signs of wear, even at those mileages that would kill lesser bikes. The transmission is shared with automotive applications and vastly overbuilt for your motorcycle duty. Oil consumption is non-existent for you, and the engine runs so cool that heat-related failures simply don't happen. The known weakness is that it's boring for you to ride hard, but that's not a reliability issue affecting your wallet. Critical maintenance is minimal for you. Regular oil changes and valve checks that typically require no adjustment from you. Parts availability is excellent because components are shared with automotive applications. This engine ranks number 2 because while it's incredibly reliable, it's not as proven over time as our number 1 pick simply because it's newer. Given another decade of real-world data, it might claim the top spot for you. Known weakness, uninspiring power delivery and low performance ceiling. Critical maintenance, standard oil changes every 8,000 miles, valve inspection every 16,000 miles, typically requires no adjustment. Number 1, Goldwing GL 1500 Flat 6. Score 10 out of 10. You're looking at the undisputed champion of forever engines, and this isn't even close for your decision. Honda's GL 1500 Flat 6 was so over-engineered that calling it excessive would be an understatement for what you're getting. Honda took everything they learned from decades of manufacturing and created an engine that simply refuses to die on you, regardless of how you treat it. The GL 1500 features a horizontally opposed 6-cylinder layout with liquid cooling, fuel injection, and components sized for twice the power. all protecting your investment. You're getting real-world examples with over 300,000 miles well documented. And some touring riders have exceeded 400,000 miles on original internals that'll outlive your mortgage. The engine's so smooth you can balance a coin on the valve covers at idle. Here's the real story they don't tell you. Mechanics claim modern bikes are just as reliable, but zero GL 1500s have documented catastrophic engine failures when maintained on schedule, while modern BMWs average 2.7% failure rates by 100,000 miles. The transmission's massively overbuilt for your peace of mind. The shaft drive eliminates chain maintenance entirely from your schedule. The cooling system is so effective that overheating is virtually impossible even in desert conditions. What truly sets this engine apart for you is the maintenance intervals. Valve adjustments are needed so infrequently that many owners never perform them during entire ownership. The hydraulic valve lifters automatically maintain clearances for you. The timing belts, when replaced on schedule, prevent the only realistic failure mode. Real-world proof comes from touring riders who live on these bikes, racking up 30,000 miles per year for decades without major issues. Police departments, delivery services, and professional touring guides all choose the GL 1500 for its legendary reliability you can depend on. Parts availability remains excellent, even though production ended in 2000. This engine earns its top ranking through decades of proven longevity, overbuilt engineering, and complete lack of fundamental design flaws. If you want a motorcycle you can truly ride forever, the GL 1500 is your answer. Known weakness, complexity, and weight, but not reliability concerns. Critical maintenance, timing belt replacement every 100,000 miles, oil changes every 8,000 miles, coolant changes every 2 years. The pattern is crystal clear when you look at these rankings. The worst engines rushed engineering, while the best engines prioritized your longevity over peak performance. And that's exactly what matters when you're planning to ride forever. The engine matters, but your maintenance schedule matters more. Because even the best engine on this list will fail if you ignore it, while even the worst will survive if you're religious about oil changes and valve adjustments that protect your investment. Hit that subscribe button because we dig deep into the technical details that'll save you thousands in repair bills.